Aloha! Snack bar, everyone. It's the one, the only, the majestic silverback coming to you live on another edition of Mornings with Mornings with V and CJ. The denizen of the deep, the uncanny producer extraordinaire, the one half of this dynamic duo. CJ, what's up, buddy?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm hanging in there. Busy weekend. It was over too quickly, and it seems like a lot of things have popped off since then.
I just want to know, V, how many? You're in New York, so I know it's the hotbed of inclusiveness. So, how many refugees are you taking in this weekend, V?
I've taken in five muzzies. Five rape refugees. One of them is eyeing me with a very with a glint in his eye. He's making me a little just a little uncomfortable. But so far I've taken in five. How many have you taken in, CJ?
Well, I'm in the Midwest, so we do things a little bit differently here. But
Oh, you're not as inclusive and tolerant as us on the East Coast and the left coast.
I was gonna go to the airport and hang out and see how many I could rescue, from the ban, but it just didn't happen for me.
Oh, it's so terrible, man. I mean, I don't know what these people are gonna do. I mean, yesterday, what 329,000 people came to this country. 109 were detained. Oh my God, it's terrible, man. It's just horrible. How can America enforce its own laws that are on the books? How can they do that, CJ? How can they do that?
Well, and here's the thing you have to figure is that, this is prime time when you think about everything coming to an end there in Syria and the amount of, ISIS people that are probably like trying to figure out how the hell to get out of that situation, right? So they're like
Yeah.
jumping on buses, they're probably jumping on planes, they're probably like, going about everywhere except for in Syria where they're just being wiped out right now.
Oh, exactly. They're not heading to Saudi Arabia. Last night I tweeted out a picture of a refugee camp in Saudi Arabia, which they have for when they have their little Hajj pilgrimage. Here's a camp of over 100,000 tents that can hold 3 million refugees. And it's air conditioned, has plumbing, the whole nine yards. Not a single refugee there in sight. But no, they're you know what they're all winding up somehow in Europe. I think we should all dump them in Angela Merkel's front lawn.
Oh, that'd be beautiful. That'd be beautiful. Just park them there. They can be there with campaign signs for her.
Oh, absolutely, man. So it's funny for me that these people are absolutely losing their crap and at the airport just because 12 people were detained. 12 people were detained in New York's JFK airport from Iran. Okay, have Iranian backgrounds, and they're wondering, oh wait, what's going on? I mean, we need to protest. And their constitutional rights have been violated. Let me get something very clear to all of you out there, and this listening audience understands what this fully means. The rest of you who are listening for the first time, you might know this, you might not know this. Refugees and immigrants have no constitutional rights. Period. Constitutional rights are for Americans. We are no longer thinking, bro, this is still Obama? There's no rule of law anymore? This is America, man. They don't realize that November the 8th, America got its balls back. Sorry, we're open for business, but we're closed to stupidity.
Yeah, and here's the thing, V, is that in terms of the actual, ban and everything, you're talking about 90 days. You're talking about a crucial period just to review to ensure that the actually vetting process is done properly. I mean, you saw in recent reports, less than 30 days ago, where they openly admitted that they didn't have any background information as far as the people that they brought in, to the United States, that they had no idea where they came from, no idea of, were they, going to come across and they were, either ISIS or they were Christian or they were Muslim, could they assimilate to U.S. I mean, it just absolutely ridiculous. And when you look at the countries that actually the travel ban was opposed to, those are actually countries that Obama had submitted for, and they'd actually passed the law, and he signed off on it several months ago.
Right, exactly, 1,000%. Let's take it back to a flashback. President Jimmy Carter banned Iranians from the U.S. It's not that far-fetched here. Okay, is it some sort of a Muslim plan? No, back in the 80s, Jimmy Carter. In fact, in '79, he signed an executive order allowing his deputies to make 50,000 Iranian students then living in the United States report to an immigration office. Okay, think about it. 50,000. I mean, oh my God, the liberals, crap themselves. They were absolutely, dumbfounded. They were astounded at what was going on. So 79, Jimmy the Peanut Farmer Carter decided to, hey, you know what, 50,000 Iranian students, you got to check in with an immigration facility, and then the Iranians were banned from coming in. Not so difficult. Not so bad. Nobody said anything then because it was a Democrat, so it's all right, okay? What else? Obama, okay? Obama put a 6-month ban on all Iraqi refugees in 2011. What happened? The libtards said nothing, okay? Back in 2011, nothing, all right? That's a fact. The other fact is that people need to understand the news, okay? This whole thing is being spun as it's a ban on Muslims. It's not a ban on Muslims. It's specifically targeting 7 countries that were harboring terrorists, okay? And the funniest thing is, guys, again, the 7 countries picked up by Donald Trump. No, these 7 countries were the list of 7 countries selected by Obama himself. And these 7 countries, again, man, they're not, look, these are majority Muslim countries, yes. Okay? They're not these countries, CJ, they're not the top, sources of Muslim countries which are immigrating to the U.S. It's not, okay? So for these guys to flip their, absolutely lose themselves and say, "Oh my God, it's it's a ban on Muslims, this, that, and the other," it is complete horse crap. That's the whole thing that people need to understand. If anybody of the Trump's camp should say, "Hey, you know what? The 7 countries were 7 countries that President Obama identified. These were given to us, and we're acting on it." That's what people need to understand here. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, you have idiots like the American Civil Liberties Union, that are out there, trying to protest this whole entire thing. I'm sorry, you don't have civil liberties. Look, man, constitutional rights for Americans, okay, are for Americans. And it's ridiculous that, that this is the way it is, man. I mean, here's the thing. Even in 2004, bro, okay, George W. Bush established extreme vetting for 34 majority Muslim countries back in 2004. Okay? And that extreme vetting still continued. But one of the things I was saying was the fact that this issue that's happening with the color revolution, a color revolution in the United States. Over 2 years ago, I've warned about it. I said there will be color revolutions coming to the United States. We just don't know what color they're going to pick. It's right now morphed into the purple and pink color revolutions, okay? This coincides with the color revolutions that were occurring all throughout Eastern Europe, okay, from everywhere from the Ukraine to Lithuania to Latvia to Georgia, not the attempted the attempted green revolution that tried to occur in Iran. So now the color revolutions are coming home. The same globalist factions that have worked the world over are trying to work us over. It seems as if, okay, things are hopeless. It seems as if it is blight. And the globalists are doing their best to not only, CJ, create a color revolution, but at the same time, the 2 globalist henchmen, John McCain and Mrs. John McCain, a.k.a. Lindsey Graham, are out there trying to start World War III. Did you see that bit of news, CJ?
Yeah, I did. He's out with his girlfriend Lindsey Graham, promoting World War III. Again, they're just 100% pure stupidity on their part.
They are absolutely idiotic. They said our government has responsibility to defend our borders, and we must do so in a way that makes us safer and uphold all that is decent and exceptional about our nation. This is the old exceptional stand crew over here. It is clear from the confusion that our airports across the nation that President Trump's executive order, here they are taking taking the mallet to Trump, so to speak. He says the joint statement of former Presidents John McCain and Lindsey Graham is wrong. They're sadly weak on immigration. The two senators should focus their energies on ISIS, illegal immigration, and border security instead of always looking to start World War III. I don't know what is up with these sycophants, man. Graham is mentally deranged lunatics, man.
Yeah, and he's the one that's been off the charts from back in the day whenever McCain flew over there and was like, yeah, we need to arm these guys. These are good guys here in Syria. He was one of the first on the ground. And then Lindsey Graham's talking about nuclear bombs dropping on the East Coast in South Carolina. So these two are both, like, you want to talk about warmongers in chief. These two go hand in hand with that, V.
I'm convinced that they get into bed with each other. And they watch Dr. Strangelove while they cuddle. That's picture that for you, That's what I think that Lindsey Graham and John McCain, well, I think that's what they do. They jump into bed with each other and then they cuddle, they strip down to their little PJs and then they cuddle and they watch Dr. Strangelove. That's what's going on, because these guys are lunatics. How Dr. Strangelove, how I learned to stop being afraid and love the bomb. That's exactly McCain and Graham. Ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, bro. This broadcast was a little wonky. We had a little technical issue, so I apologize for everybody for the technicalities. CJ, what else is on the radar, man?
Yeah, just here coming up at 10 o'clock, we have the Sirius Report coming up with London Paul, so that'll be very exciting. So we're kind of steering clear of any type of geopolitical matters this morning in terms of too many things, because we want to give an opportunity for him to talk about his thing and keep it from being just kind of the same thing over and over again. But anyway, yeah, so I'm excited to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm pumped about that, and I'm pumped for Friday's show. Hopefully I get to get this information out, and none of my guests leak this information before they get it. I mean, London Paul's so connected. He just might spill the beans this today on Monday. So, again, guys, sorry about the technical issues. It's not on our end. It's on somebody else's end. Our networks here are running fine. It was Hangouts. They probably had some issues, and we're working around it. So, anyway, subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell symbol. Okay, and you guys will be alerted as to the next program. And again, keep it tuned, keep it locked for Friday. It's going to be a dope show. With that being said, check us out in a few minutes with London Paul. That's going to be awesome. And again, thank you all for listening in, and follow us on Twitter at the Rogue Money. Check out roguemoney.net as well as the Rogue Money Facebook. CJ.
Awesome. No, good stuff. Yeah, check in. We'll be right back at 10 o'clock, and we'll be having another great show. So again, apologize for the tech errors, but we'll try to keep those to a minimum, and we're working on some great things moving forward.
And with that being said, we're over and out. Rock it out, CJ.